Now starting my task. So the first step I need to do is to open BranchFlow, create a new project for your research, pick whatever name and topic feel right for the research question, and a guided tool will start automatically follow it. The tool will take you through generating some starter findings using AI. Tell us what you understand a finding to be at this point, whether the AI-generated suggestion feels relevant to your topic, anything in the setup that surprise, confuse, or please you. Okay, so I'm gonna create a new project here. So I'm just landed on this page. It says welcome to BranchFlow. It organizes your research into projects. Each project holds findings, branches, and conclusions, always persist in AI context. Right? So track quality at a glance. It's the stats bar shows segregate credibility and bias risk. Okay. I'm not sure what credibility means here. Green means your confirmed findings are well sourced. Amber signals gaps to investigate. So I'm guessing green means this, right? It's a bit small and not very obvious. Okay. Next, we'll create your first project. What is this? Algorithmic bias in hiring. I guess it's something I've done before. Right, so create my first project. Frame your question. Use this box for your detailed brief. Alright, keep it one line. Okay. Research scope. So I need to choose between a set of options. So it has broad overview, focus analysis, literature review, exploratory, to open-ended discovery without a fixed thesis. I'm not sure which one I should choose yet, but let me just continue. Sources come next. On the next screen, you can attach documents or references. Okay, so it's something I'll do later. Alright, so let me start by... Oh, notice there's a question mark. I wonder what that is. Okay, it's a bit too long. I'm gonna read. No, I'm not gonna read it. Configure your research project. Fields marked inform what the AI suggests. Okay. So the project name is going to be what makes relationship work. I think that's my topic. Let me check again. What factors? Okay, I'm gonna copy this. Okay, what makes relationships work? Description is about factors influencing quality and quality and duration of long-term romantic relationships. Investigating research topic. Okay, I'll just copy and paste this. I'm wondering what's the difference between description and research topic. One sentence, the abstract for this project. Detail brief. Anyway, I'm just put it there like this. I'm not sure how different these two will inform AI. Yeah, but that may continue. How broadly should the AI explore the topic? I'm not sure. I have a set of data that I want them to analyze. Okay, so I have to choose one. I guess focus analysis, because I have a set of data, which is the main body of the analysis. I'm gonna pick that. Yeah, here it says focus deep dive on a narrow question. Okay, and what's this? Suggest scope and sources. What happens if I click that? AI suggested exploratory. The description is a question with no fixed direction. Okay, well, I'll just accept that. I guess you're right. Source preference, academic paper, journals, books. I think I can also include government reports, because I feel like statistics about marriage can also help in an analysis. I'm not sure whether industry reports work. Right, I've set up. Next, add sources. Okay, so I guess this is where I'm going to upload the file I have. Okay, click in there. It's in the download. Oh, why couldn't I upload the CSV? It says drag PDF, TXT docs. Wait, is this where I should upload my dataset? I am not sure, but I could not upload a CSV here. So I'm going to just skip this part first and just let it run for a bit. I guess I could add later as well. Okay. So what does he say? Review AI generated setup. Click any question or pencil icon to add the inline. All right. So research question, AI generated. How do individual psychological traits and attachment styles influence the formation and maintenance of long-term romantic relationship? That's good. What are the most significant communication patterns and conflict resolution strategies that contribute to relationship quality and longevity? To what extent do external societal pressure, cultural norms, and support networks impact? It's very long. Okay, I can add my own questions, so I can also generate more. Let me think. Do I have another question? It says cultural norm, communication patterns, individual psychological traits. It's pretty comprehensive. But I'm gonna generate more to see if there's anything I missed. In what ways do shared life goals and values contribute to the sustained commitment? Yeah. How do significant life transitions and stressors? Okay. I think I can just keep clicking it. I don't know. Is there a maximum questions I need to limit it to? Had the perceptions of fairness, division of labor, in what ways do partners involving individual identities? Well, I feel like these are all good questions. What happens if I keep clicking it? How do partners differing love languages, hobbies? Or do early relationships a role of forgiveness? Well, that's a lot already. I don't know. Should I keep clicking? Maybe I can just keep clicking because all these questions look quite interesting. How do partners' perception of sexual intimacy and satisfaction evolve over time? Oh, why do I have to keep scrolling like this? What brought this rumor and shit laughter? Okay, I think this one is not that relevant. Yeah, just remove it. I guess that's enough. It's already a lot of questions. Suggested starting findings. Relationship dynamic. Included the concept of love languages of a popular framework. Individual factor. It's a lot. Topic for new findings. Wait. Starting findings. Topic for new findings. So these are the findings they already have. What happens if I generate more? What's this? Whoa, that's a lot. Okay, I guess it just generate more things that I can put into different categories. I don't know how these categories, like where these categories come from, like relationship dynamics, individual factors, external influences, etc. But yeah, I guess it's here, but I don't know how it, like where it can come from. Okay, I'm gonna create project. Okay, this is where I keep all the findings. Explore and branches on the left. Let you investigate ideas. AI conversations happen inside branches. Okay, nothing in branches affects your finding and feel safe. I don't know what that means yet, but I just continue. AI contacts on the right. Open a branch to see its AI conversation on the right. Okay, confirm the finding. This draft was AI suggested confirm the finding to promote it to your permanent knowledge set. Okay, so I can confirm, and this is added, right? Okay, create a branch. Click add new branch to open a safe exploration space. Ask a focus question. Okay. Oh, okay, I create one. Yeah. Ask, then save what matters. Branches that you explore one finding in depth without disrupting your mindset. Okay. Type a question into the chat. Did I miss something? Okay, create a branch. Yeah, sorry. Create a branch. Click add branch to open a. Okay. And I add a branch. So maybe I can see, well, I'll just see hobbies. You could explore, I think there's one about hobbies. Yes, shared leisure activities and novelties you can. Okay, create branch about this. Okay, it's created. Ask and then save what matters. Okay, what should I do now? So I should ask a question. Oh, what's happening here? Suggested direction. One of these had different. What is the correlation between share lecture activity frequency to share novel they seek in the how to share topics interact with what's branch off? Oh, okay. I don't want the sub branch. Okay. What is the wait? Okay. I just clicked that and it just keep vomiting. Wait. Okay. Sorry, I could click it multiple times. So yeah, it says it's positively impacting. Okay, and I save it. Choose what to save. Okay, I have clicked too much, so I'll just check the first one. Are you saving this for the evidence or because it matches what you expected? I don't know. Proceed. Okay, I am seeing a lot of fields I need to put in potentially. What evidence supports this finding? Continue assessment. You haven't reflect on evidence. I'm questioning whether I should put that data set. Okay, so data set is on step 3. I'm still at the tool stage. And to confirm and explore your starting findings, the tool will continue following through the end. Okay, I'm going to continue this. Critical evidence. What evidence support this finding? And just suggest continue. Okay, and it's assessing this finding. Okay, so what this is doing is to see whether my finding is credible. Okay, I can choose whether I verified this independently or overriding a score. So what happens? Okay, I can change the assessment scores. But lacks details on the underlying study. Okay, makes sense. Based on language as general, neutral, described in a correlation with strong evaluative. This sentence is too hard to read. I get what you are doing. Scope tags. Yeah, continue, confirm saved. Oh, it's a lot of text. Share ledger activities enhance relationship by vitality and bonding. Okay, save finding. Okay, saved. Whoa, draw conclusion. draw conclusion. So I have these two findings. Yeah, I can synthesize these findings. I'm just testing it. Maybe yes, continue. Attachment, style, and share activity join influence satisfaction and stability. I think this is too small. I don't want to scroll it. I just want to read it. How do individual psychological traits? Oh, this is my previous questions. I now regret I put too much questions in it. There was one about ledger activities, but I don't know where. Or I just skip it. What it is, I think it knows what I was doing. Finish tour. Okay, where am I now? I have finished the tour. So whether the difference. Okay, should I answer these questions? What do you understand a finding? So for the first step, set up your project. What do I understand a finding to be at this point? I think the finding comes from the AI research from the source, and it ties to the question that I put in, and it generates some findings based on the question about the possible answers. And I do feel those suggestions are quite relevant. It can just keep going on and on. So I think it's a bit overwhelming. And yeah, for second step, whether the difference between draft finding and a confirmed one is clear. I don't know. I haven't been paying much attention on this thing, but I do think there is a button in the chat that tells me to confirm the finding. So I guess that's like human in the loop kind of interaction to endorse the AI findings. What do I think a branch is for? Well, I think the branch is just a space to look at a specific question in mind separately, and so that it's like you just having a separate notebook to think about. It's like when you're working on something in a Word file, you don't want to like dump all your thinking thoughts in that, so you create a different file, or like you have a notebook, physical notebook to just jot down your ideas, and then after you think through it, synthesize it, and then you bring it back to the main document. The tour is pretty long. I think it's a lot to catch up in this tour, but it's quite helpful to kind of grasp the overall idea of the tool. All right, so step 3, I have to bring the data set and analyze it. So now the tool is done, find the analysis section of your project. Upload a CSV and run quantitative analysis on it. All right, and to tell you what I expected to happen and the results, as well as whether I can tell which column is the epic and why. Okay, I'm gonna just start with uploading the file. I'm looking at the top bar and yeah, this knowledge, timeline, graph, analysis. I want to click through all of them just to give a sense, but I'm not gonna go into it because my main task right now is to do the analysis. Okay, so in the analysis tab, there is a qualitative analysis, and I need to do quantitative. What's this? Reflective thematics. Yeah, I'm not doing this. I noticed it's down there, but it's a bit far, so I didn't find it first. Maybe it would be better to have like tabs over here as well. I don't know. All right. So I have to upload the data, run analysis, and AI Connect to the research. So I can browse the file, and I will upload it. Okay, this one, and okay, it's uploaded. I guess these are all the fields. Ooh, so it's just a preview. And then what I need to do next is continue. Where's the continue button? Select columns to include, and so I'll select everything. And there's an auto select colors and run menu for configuration. What's this? Oh, okay, things pop up below. I thought it would be like a pop-up dialog, like the thing I did when I click new branch. But anyway, so what is menu from configuration? Select operations to run. Okay, so I can run descriptives, correlation matrix, distribution analysis, group comparison, k-means. I don't actually know which one I should pick. And it will probably be better to link to questions or like findings I would like to know, like the relationship between these operations and what kind of findings I can get out of them. But I will not do it. I will just choose auto. And okay, so now it's running. It's planning. AI suggests 10 columns. These columns provide. Oh, okay. But previously I have that drop down that selects all columns. So I couldn't do analysis on all columns? I don't know. I was just wondering. Okay, so here's the result. Data loaded, cleaned, described, and AI interpreted. So here it shows long-term relationship and sample show alarming weekly sexual frequency despite a significant average relationship duration. Oh, interesting. Average. Okay, so it's saying that long-term relationships, they don't have active sexual life. I guess probably it's because some of them are old. This is just an average in 27 years makes it the lowest. I kind of want to know if I can like have the age as the confounding variable to see the impact of age on this finding. Let me try to see if I can do that. What is this? Run additional analysis. Group comparisons. So, or correlation matrix. I wonder. Oh, I wish I can see the explanation I've seen in the previous screen. In that manual configuration, I want to know which one is the best one to answer my question. Whether age affects like this sexual activity, because they might be sexually inactive because they are older as their relationship lengths grow. So let me do a correlation metric. And yeah, but how does it work? What does analysis affect safety? I don't know what's going on here, but oh, okay, so it's running stuff below here, and it's adding new steps here. Okay, so it has these 3 columns. Changing what is changing real qualities. Okay, so if I want to know the questions that I had, I probably need to just close this. Probably need to add a new column so I can change analysis. Oh, now it's here on the right side, so that AI chat thing push it down below previously. Okay, so what was selected previously? Can I find age here? Age when met. Okay. What is PPH? PPH, I guess. You can take a look. What is PPH? What does PP mean here? I don't know, but I am assuming that's age they're at. So they're wave 1, wave 2, wave 3 age. Age category. What is age cat? I'm not sure, but just put this thing in first. Run the group comparison by. Oh, wait. Let's do a descriptive statistics first. Now it's planning. Analysis safety analysis tab. Okay, so it's the kind of similar results I got previously. The average age, so now we consider average ages. I'm trying to understand all these. What if I add distribution analysis? So shows weekly highly skewed, but like what are the assets? Okay, where can I call AI? Is this not this one? Where is the chat? Spano? Collapso? No? No? Research overview? No. Research journal? No, not this one. Oh, I closed the chat, but how do I turn it back? Oh, branch is here. So if I add a new branch, it's not ideal. I just want to ask questions that's specific to this analysis. Okay, I don't think I can do that here. I change analysis. View result. Change analysis. Close. Okay. I'll just look at the manual first. So what do I expect happens? I think I didn't know it would just run the analysis and it will just tell you the finding based on their analysis of it. I don't know why they choose those 10 fields. I wonder if I do it again with whether they will choose the same one. Now it's gone. I don't know why. But with the result, something you could explain to your supervisor. I think they provide pretty good explanation on how the data inform their findings, but I don't quite understand how. Because in previous step it says like there's a button next to the menu configuration that says AI will pick the columns, and it picked 10 columns, but the analysis only used 3 columns for the result. So I don't know where the other 7 columns have gone and what those columns are, but it's quite interesting that they can do it. Say, promote something from the analysis to your findings. Look at the analysis output. Ooh, okay. It's not here. Let me redo it. Oh yeah, okay, now it's here. Resubmit the CSV. So what I need to do now is to promote something interesting from the analysis to your findings. Okay, so I will auto select columns and run. Yeah, because it says 10 and then it's planning. Oh, it choose the same thing. Maybe it's a mock data. What happens if I choose, let's say, hobby? No, there's no hobby here. I'm just trying to see if there's hobby. Don't see that. Maybe I'll ask it to generate another analysis. Okay, yeah, I'm waiting it to be complete. Okay, so I guess it's the same. Anyway, so I'm going to add it to the main knowledge. Oh, how do I add it? I'm thinking if I go back to the list of findings, I can add it here, but I cannot. So let me look at the result again. There's nothing here about adding it to the main knowledge, because I'm expecting I can put this thing. Oh, just export. Doesn't feel right, but might be how I should do it. Oh yeah, there's a suggest findings, but I thought this is findings already. Like this looks like a finding to me. Why do I have to suggest another finding within a finding? Explores the evolving role and specific components of sexual intimacy. Okay, so basically it's the same thing. So if I accept this, you'll become a finding. So you'll be promoted to main findings. So, okay. Yeah, add to main, assess is added as draft. So if I go back to knowledge, I should be able to see that thing that I just added. So let me find it somewhere. It should be somewhere in here. It says I have 7 draft findings. So where do I find the draft? Oh, interesting. Research question coverage. Cool. Recent analysis. Individual factor. Okay, so these are the findings are below. So where's the one that I had from the CSV file? Okay, I guess this one, right? And what it says is AI suggested sexual intimacy is long-term relationship. In long-term relationship, okay, and then I can check for updates. Tech, what's this? So I can add text to it and add source. So I don't have a source for it. Challenge. Okay, interesting. I can also challenge this finding. Ooh. What is check for updates? It's a new topic. Okay, let me just confirm the finding and what happens now. It's now confirmed as a finding. And what should I do next? Next, branch off and dig deeper. Oh, before that, let me answer the questions here. Whether you trust this finding enough to keep it. I do trust it because it's based on the analysis that I just saw, which matches. And honestly, I think those two are the same thing. And so I just gonna accept this. And what do you expect happens once it's added? So it's added to the main knowledge. And it's in a centralized place. I'm not quite sure about this question, honestly. But overall, it's cool. I'm going to branch off and dig deeper. Okay, so I guess it's in the branch I can ask AI to explore the finding. No. So I will continue with this one. Where can I branch off? Okay, trace. Branch from this finding. Okay, so I'm in this saffron rubber chat here to explore this angle. Yeah. That's exactly what I want to ask. I know this will pop a new message. It's just covering up the screen, so I feel it's a bit weird. The importance of sexual intimacy is understood to evolve over time. This finding highlights that the role of perceived importance for sexual intimacy is differentiated throughout the duration. While the nature of this emission is fully detailed, the concept of changeover is being recognized. It's so long. More specifically, if two couples have the same sense of relationship and sexual intimacy. Level. No. Sentence version. This the age affect their intimacy level. This age effect. Sent. Okay, what does he say? I'm reading this. Okay, the current knowledge base does not directly address whether age itself. Well, relationship duration often correlate with age. The existing findings do not isolate age as a distinct variable to compare. For example, a younger couple and an older couple who have both been in a relationship for 5 years. The quantitative analysis, which indicates no low mean weekly sexual frequency, reinforces that sexual intimacy changes over time within a relationship. However, these analyses also focus on the aspect of duration rather than making a direct comparison. It doesn't really answer my question, but okay. But I'll just put these two in as findings. Proceed. Suggest. Continue assessment. Continue. Okay. So it keeps adding different findings in the potentially conflict. Review conflict. What is this? I'm not doing that for now. Okay. Draw. Whether you now that knowledge that AI is using to answer you inside the branch. I don't know. I think it might be just using whatever they have in this system, like the sources included any analysis that I uploaded, but it's not very explicit. What it mentions, like the data doesn't prove that or like explain that. Oh yeah, sources used. All right, so yeah, they use this source, but I don't know. It feels like using the finding to explain a question I have about that finding. It's a bit weird. I don't know if I'm making sense. Cause yeah. Anyway. Whether these answers feel grounded in your project. I do feel they try to answer based on what they have in the system and don't hallucinate. I don't have a way to prove that, but I think it tries to not hallucinate by citing the sources or like giving the scores. What do you think happens to the branch composition when you save or don't save something? So it looks like it's going to save it as a new finding in the knowledge. Which is interesting because I start branching from one knowledge and then it becomes a new knowledge. So I feel like it's like a snowball effect. You start from one finding and you dig deeper and then it becomes another finding and it just builds up. That's what I assume. Right, go back to the main project view. Try to draw a conclusion that synthesizes two or more of your findings into something that addresses the research question. Okay. Draw conclusion. So I have findings about sexual intimacy. These two. I have more, but I'll just put these two first. What are these analysis findings? Okay, so it says I have these quantitative analysis. Use AI to synthesize it. Yeah, it's too long. An age-specific understanding. The perceived importance of role and sexual intimacy or dynamic evolving, blah, blah, blah. While its changing nature is acknowledged, the specific influence of a cultural variation and age independent of relationship length no on these involving conceptions remain largely unexplored and unspecified. Okay, interesting. Whether you understand what makes a conclusion different from the finding. I get it. I think conclusion is like you synthesize the different findings and try to find a narrative to explain those findings. So, for example, I have two findings about sexual intimacy. And if I'm doing the real research, I might find several findings about sexual intimacy and long-term relationship. I might explore it in different aspects, whether hobby affects it, whether age affects it, and so on and so forth. And conclusion helps me to kind of bring them all together and describe it in a way that explains all the findings together. I hope that makes sense. Whether you feel your conclusion is actually supported by your finding. Yeah, I think it's if it's done a pretty nice job of like grounded the conclusion on my findings. What's missing? I wouldn't say it's missing, it's just too much. Maybe I'm new to this, but I feel there's a lot to read and take and process. Stop the screen recording when you feel done. Whether you not complete every task. Okay, so answer the questions below either out loud or in writing. Okay, so I'll just answer it in the recording. Open reflection. These are your overall impression on task, specific feedback. Keep answers short. A sentence or two is plenty. Okay. Overall feel. In one sentence, how did using BranchFlow feel? Pick whatever words comes first. Well, I think it's a bit complicated, a bit overwhelming, but it's also quite powerful that it could do qualitative and quantitative analysis based on the data you put it in. Mental model. In your own words, what is BranchFlow for? If your friend asks you what does this app do, okay, so now I think what this app is doing is to help you break down the synthesis process when analyzing data. So it's like it's a centralized place to upload all your research data and then help you to code it, having pieces of findings, like coming up with like different pieces of findings, a bit like the things in semantic analysis, and then you use AI to support the generation of those findings and the synthesis of those findings to come up with conclusions for your research. Did I trust the AI suggestions? I kind of blindly trusted. I know it's not a good thing to blindly trust it, but I just think it's quite smart and just let it do their work. And when did you trust them more and when less? I just think the confidence level is quite helpful for me to, or at least to be alert, because if an AI system is not confident about that result, then I should pay more attention to that. But doesn't mean I don't pay attention to like high confidence result, but it just means I need to put more attention to those one, or like to make that finding more complete. Stuck moments. When do you feel stuck or confused? Um, so first, first of all, I think the overall interface, it's a lot to process, and I'm quite confused about the term initially, like the branch and what finding means here, and conclusion means here, and why is put in that place in the interface, especially why the branch is like a site chat instead of a new page, etc. Because it's like a tab on the left, but when I click that, it's just opening another side panel with chat. So that bit is a bit confusing. And yeah, when doing the quantitative analysis, that selection of columns is also a bit confusing, because you need to choose between manual configuration and auto suggestion or something. And then when selecting the columns, I can only see the column titles, which is fair, but I kind of wish to know more context of what each column means to help me like decide which column is of my interest. The magic moment, I think, yeah, the quantitative analysis, like the output page is quite impressive, because it presents a finding in human language that's easy to digest, whereas not start by dumping you stats and graphs. So I think that's pretty helpful. But also, like, the graph is a bit hidden, down the page, so that could be improved. Yeah, and once I understand how the conclusion work, I think that's gonna be very helpful to come up with a synthesis of argument, because it's kind of like you visualize the mental process you have as a researcher. When you see the findings, you're trying to piece them, connect them all together, and that tool is helping users to visualize that with AI support. What would you change? If I can change one thing, I will change the amount of information that's presented on the interface. I think Overall, it could be simpler, and it could have progressive display of each section of the each features, because it's quite a lot when I land on the knowledge page. There are so many things I need to look at, and I don't know what's going on there. The real world fit. If you were doing actual research, would you use this? Why not? What kind of project might it suit? What kind of it not? It's an interesting question. I might test it out. I would say I'm a bit confused at the setup that it draws sources from someone else, and that part I don't feel like I'm in control. But if I can ground everything on based on my findings, like how Notebook does it, like you start from putting your sources in it. I think I'll probably use that, and I especially like the idea of having conclusions, like combining the findings and make conclusions. I wasn't quite sure the right moment, like what's the right moment to use the branch feature, but that's helpful when I start from a finding, but not as helpful as in what I should do with it to start from scratch. So yeah, I hope that makes sense. But I do feel like I understand more about what branch means when I start from one findings and then click on the branch off button. Whereas when you ask me to create a new branch from the interface, like the top left corner, I'm 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 not really sure. I was not really sure what I was doing. Okay, a quick usability rating. For each statement, please give number 1 to 5. Okay, so first question, I think I would like to use BranchFlow frequently. I'll give it a 3. I found BranchFlow unnecessarily complex. That's a 4. I thought BranchFlow was easy to use, maybe 2. I think that I will need the support of a technical person to be able to use BranchFlow. Yeah, 4. I found the various functions in BranchFlow were well integrated. That's 3. I thought there was too much inconsistency in BranchFlow. 1. Quite consistent. I would imagine that most people will learn to use BranchFlow very quickly. 3. I found BranchFlow very cumbersome to use. Not really. Well, it's alright. 3. I felt very confident using BranchFlow. 3. I needed to learn a lot of things before I could get going with BranchFlow. 4. Alright, next, about you. 1 minute optional. So my age range is 25 to 34. My highest level of education is master's. How often do I use AI? I use it daily. Have I ever done academic or professional research before? Yes. But yeah, some, yes, some, not regularly, some. Have you used a qualitative research or analysis tool before? No. When you're done, send a wind recording, your reflection lenses, serious scroll. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna complete the